Everyone in the lead car or truck, they're patsies. You waste them, you get your drugs, and some blood.
That it?
You used to work for my father,
I have to force work for your father, yeah?
but you were particularly dependable, especially at finding snakes in the grass. Right?
Do that.
Give me your gun.
I have been nothing but loyal to you.
Give me your fucking gun!
What is good? Welcome back to the channel. Oh man, so episode 2 came out. We're a little late. We're late. I'll take blame for this. This is my fault because
it's not his fault. Look,
I'll take more blame. It's on my channel. He's a guest. Hospitality. It's my fault. I messed up. But we're here now. Episode 2 of The Penguin is out. How did you feel about the episode?
I personally loved it. I feel like they built upon the foundation that they laid last episode, and I feel like the series is actually going in the direction that I said it would. And obviously, it was going to go that way, but I think seeing how was the most important thing, right? Like, so I'm gonna let that die right there because I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak your piece on the episode.
Oh man, listen, man, we went from a 9 to a 5 like a work shift, nigga. This was crazy. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I'm so glad. I knew you were gonna say you hated it, and I don't know why.
We went from a 9 to a 5 like a work shift, nigga. It was. The first episode was cool, right? The second episode, I think they did a lot to set a lot of good ground, to set a lot of solid bases for things that are to come. Also, you texted it to me, so I'm gonna bring it forward here because it was episode related. I do think Eve, I think is her name. I don't think she make it to episode 6.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see that. Yeah, I think she's going to get clipped. When she made the reference, like, "Hey, you putting my girls in danger," I said, "Oh yeah, they gonna find her." No, but also, did you notice that he's telling stories about his mom as if she's already dead?
I didn't notice that. That's interesting.
Yeah, when he was talking to Sofia and he was trying to like cheer her up.
Oh,
when he mentioned his mom, it was in past tense.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, oh, they think she's dead. This show is going. That's why. Oh. How do you hate this episode? Ow! This show is gonna get crazy. Like, it's gonna get nuts. Okay.
First off.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
He's like, take the floor. You need this. Go. Listen. First off, you losing like 0.3 of points. Cause why y'all do my man Vic like that? That was the most awkward scene. That was the most awkward phone. What the man?
I text you that too. I was like, wow, the closest thing to a black guy in the series, he can't even place Jules properly. He can't.
That too, dog. They put Vic in so many barns in one episode, which is cool because I get it, right? I get the gear up. I know where we headed.
Yeah.
But also they kind of drop little notes of like we're at some point we're gonna have to go back to Crown Point because I don't know if you noticed, but him looking back to the pole when they were entering Oz's crib before all the girls came in, before he sat down the tacos and all that, he looked back at the pole that had all the missing people on it. That probably closer relates to his story, and the text that he got from that name that I'm not gonna butcher. I'm gonna let them say it first before I say it. Cause it looked like it said Graciela or something like that, but I don't.
I think that's his mama.
I think it's either his mom or his love interest. Cause he was also.
They're back in.
Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I said they're back in.
Stop! Don't do that! Stop! Don't do that! I just caught it. Don't do that! Don't do that.
You got.
He cooked himself.
Ooh. He was scared the whole. You said the hoes were scared of him. I think he was scared the hoes.
They were.
Bro said, "Where you from?" I said, "Oh man, why y'all do him like this?" I really was like, "Dang, that's freaked up." Like, let him talk. Please.
I'm not gonna lie. The film person in me loved it because, as clunky as it was, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's actually something that that I've heard and kind of seen watching like Drew Lynch, who's a comedian that has like a stutter problem as well. When Vic is comfortable and he's around Penguin, he can talk in straight sentences. When he got around,
Yeah. I know
he straight just tightened. Which also, side note too, the hose scared him. He did not scare the hose. The hose scared him.
No, because when he started like that, her face changed. She was like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Like,
But then he had to look down. He had to look down too. He did not. He wasn't helping himself because he looked down like at the corners. I was like,
you can tell that. I think this was necessary to establish just how uncomfortable he was and the lack of confidence he kind of has in himself. Even watching him prop himself up by, "I'm his driver." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think that is setting him up to have us watch him become a much more confident and much more capable character by the end of the series. That's just what I think. And obviously we need that. I don't want to say it in a sense that's like, because I think it's obvious that he has to become something, but we just don't know exactly where it's going to lead. I guess I'll ask you before we pass this point, do you think that he is going to become as significant as Penguin is now? Because if you understood, like, he told him the story about Falcone so that he would understand that you start from somewhere and he would take pride in his position. Or do you think that was just more Penguin manipulation? Because that's what we need to talk about.
That also kind of goes into one of like, if with the guest's permission, I'd like to reach a little bit.
Go for it.
With when you set up little small stories and you say things, and to this point the show has shown like everything that gets said will matter at some point. If you want me to be just straight out and answer the question directly, I think that Vic dies. And I think he dies early because, or not early, but I think we get really comfortable and then he dies because remember Penguin telling the story the same, you may be referencing the exact same Falcone story, but when he told the story about him not knowing how to drive a car, and then he said that Pinchy, I think was his name, was the person that ended up getting popped and died. Penguin, they're not killing Penguin, and Vic and Penguin to this point have been the same cohorts. You could argue that in this example, because of the weight of the show and how the show has progressed, either Penguin could bring someone else in alongside Vic, or Vic and Penguin are going to be those two people, and Penguin being able to, oh my god, I just had an idea, but I'm gonna wait, hold on. But Vic's inability to at this point be able to talk himself out of certain situations is going to be one of the things that Penguin uses to kill him. Talk out of certain situations is crazy. I just mean like his inability to think fast on his feet, not because he literally can't.
Oh yeah, no, he probably thought of the answer, he just ain't give it out.
Stop that, right? That's crazy. You're right. But like,
they're gonna be like, "Were you the one who did this?" Oh, I can just imagine like he get caught by Sofia doing something, and now
that's crazy.
She just yeah.
That's I will hope. Go ahead.
Side note, you asked. I just thought about it. You asked me about the ending thing, and I actually did catch some glimpses of it. It's something that came to my mind. I'm not gonna say it right now because we're not at that point in the conversation, but I just wanted to make sure you knew I'm good. So.
Okay,
Let's
cool. But yeah, no, I think that at this point, if Vic doesn't like overtly pronounce himself, he's probably someone that dies after we get really used to him. I know he'll have the from the recap. I'm not coming up with like a hypothesis here not from the recap, from the preview. Next two episodes should be something that's more focused on him, but. I think with where he is, where we are, and the small little mention of like the Riddler in the bar scene.
Take it up with the Riddler.
that we're starting to unfold, and if Vic doesn't have a clear place in the story, then
He'll be blotted out.
yeah, I expect them to kind of write him out.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't want them to. I would like for him to play a role in the series. I would even like to see him get as far as to being Batman. But if they write him out, they write him out. I don't think he'll make it out of Batman. I don't think a lot of these characters making it out into Batman, to be honest with you. Like, I'm almost 100% sure that her uncle, Sofia uncle,
Luca.
pretty sure he gonna die too.
Yeah, I think
it's up to him.
expect that.
We just gotta wait and see.
I would expect that. You know what's funny? You threw me a segue, so now I'm gonna take this. This is problem two, right with the episode. We're right here. Listen, the reason why off camera I asked you if you knew what they talked about prior is because for me this was an episode that like heavily focused on not only Sofia but a little bit of her background, while simultaneously trying to let you in on a little bit of what it was like, the actual like general perception of people towards her, and not just how the family and Penguin view her. You see outside during the funeral all the hangman, the very specific reason why that's the background picture. I don't know if you heard on the radio, but on the radio they said that she killed 7 people. She had 7.
I didn't know that. So I think I missed the detail of that being her specific story.
Okay.
But it makes sense now when I think about the scene where she was there smoking and they was like, get her back into send her back to her. It makes perfect sense now, like tying that into that other portion. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so she had the on the radio you heard them say 7 people. She killed 7 people. The reason why the reason why I asked you if you're okay with that background specifically is because that's also the scene where when you phase down to her neck and you see that she was like having the night tears, it's 7 scars in her, it's 7 cuts in her neck. So I'm assuming there's a light representation of every single body that's there. I also think if I get to do the full connect, that what happened in Italy didn't go the way that they said it did.
Okay, all right.
Because
So what do you think? So what do you think happened? Do you have like a? I think
that either there was one good moment in there, but Sofia kind of, I'm not gonna say she tweaked out, but she lost it a little bit, because the other thing is everyone kind of talks about the Italy trip like either they weren't there or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about it from like this weird sort of distance of like, oh, you remember when?
You would too if the woman in question could shoot you and nobody could really do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, because who gonna tell her no?
No, that's fair, but they kind of talk about it like it's the Arkham story that she was fed.
Even her uncle had a difficult time asserting himself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He did. I think that he did assert himself, which goes back into what you were talking about when they were giving like the backstories on how the people view her. The one that stood out to me the most, which they intended for it to stand out. When old girl came up to her, I guess her cousin.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we should plan a girls trip, yada, yada, yada. And it's funny watching Sofia try to interact with human beings, like normally, knowing that there's something else on her brain.
Yeah.
She's like, I really don't have time for this. But then her daughter came up, and the old girl was like, nah.
And she pulled her clothes.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, why are you doing that? I thought you just was trying to go on a girls trip with her.
Yeah.
So she's safe enough to go out of town with, but she's not safe to have around your daughter right now.
With all these people,
that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But what got me was, oh look, your barrette's out of place. Oh, let me fix that. I got it.
And the cold stare, I was like, okay.
Woo.
We done.
But nah,
let her get on.
They made mention to the fact that the mob doesn't like respect women that much, especially like in families, like there's not a position of power for the women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they did a good job of showing that in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
as well as asserting her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As a much more dominant force than we think, because she still felt way more dynamic than the head of the family throughout the whole episode to me.
For sure. I agree with that.
Like there was no point where I felt like he was really like, you know what I mean? Like he just feel like another piece on the board, but she feels like the foil. Even down to the moment where she was like, it's a mole. Like somebody been feeding him the information.
Yeah, for sure.
Like bro didn't even consider that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You're just like, all right. But this goes back to her character in episode 1, where she was very analytical and she understood what Penguin was doing even before we knew that she was on to him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I got.
No, I mean, and I actually kind of piggyback off of that, but actually I'll end up kind of going in the opposite direction. I think that for them to, in post-credit, kind of pronounce her, try to say like, okay, we want to pronounce her, we want to go away from the kind of, oh, and with all full clarity here, I could very well be reaching, I'm fine with that. For them to say that we want to announce her, pronounce her, put her at the forefront, and kind of dispel that logic of the misogynistic mob family, for her to then kind of what felt like at the end of the episode be willing to work with Penguin and kind of downplay that sort of intelligence. They could definitely 180 this and she say that like this was all a part of her plan, which is fine. I have no qualms with that. But currently,
cool.
Go ahead.
That's cool. But my boy has been manipulating his way through this. That's why when I text you and say he's cooking,
yeah, he was.
Like, so I'm also setting up a segue for you, by the way.
Good.
When you said he's cooking, when I text you that, it's because I think I seen him talk to the Maroney family. He talked to, I don't remember everybody he talked to. He talked to a lot of people, and in every scenario, he worked his way. He wiggled his freaking way out, even from the robbery scene. Yeah. He wiggled his way out of that.
Yeah.
And the part during the robbery scene that I liked the most was when he could have shot old boy, but he didn't, and he shot one of the other guys, because that scene sets up the ending scene. The ending scene, which I'm not gonna talk about yet. At the center of it is Oz just like working overtime, like, and even with what we was just talking about, where they kind of made Vic fail, it was like, okay, fine, he failed, cool, I'm going to fix it right now. You know what I'm saying? That and he did. Yeah, no, for sure. Also, I'm not gonna lie, while we here, for us to get like 7 words from the I don't even know what he was, one of Maroney's capos, for us to get like 7 words from him, and then for him to just get like packed up that quickly is crazy. Also, bro, I laughed when he came in. So that's in the going back to the robbery scene. Bro, what's the man name? Vidi?
Yeah.
He was like, you getting in the car with the drop. And we're like, oh no, he's not getting in that car. Like, no, he's not. They're gonna kill them. And he's like, all right, so now I have to think of something to do so that I don't die.
Yeah.
So this man tells this bad joke. It was a bad joke. This nigga was in the van like, which I'm gonna tell that joke to somebody. Just wait on it.
That's crazy.
And then he gets in the back. He's like, yeah, I'm finna tell my joke now. But really, I know they finna shoot. You know what I mean? Like that whole scene, how that played out, and then bro came in guns a-blazing. The only reason that he even was in that position was because somebody was alive. You know what I'm saying? When it all went down. So
yeah. I wanna go back just a little bit, because we're not gonna get a chance to like focus on that because it wasn't broadly important. But I love the fact that the detective like was like, oh geez. He was really a tweaker, because
oh yeah, I don't know why we skipped that.
He brought he brought I don't even want to stay on it long because it didn't really add anything to me that was like really important. It was really funny because he brought her a body at a funeral, like ta-da, like here, this is it, like I did it, like this is the job. Can I get some more drops? It's like, nigga, what? He said you wanted answers. I brought answers. He was like, you want a body?
She said, what am I supposed to do with this? and what made it worse was that the nigga in question was done. Like he was he was off whatever they put on it. Like it was nuts. Like I was like, bro, he can't even talk.
She brought the body like an he brought the body like an accomplishment. I was like, yo, you're really
like it made me think like, what did you do to him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did you get him in this catatonic state like this? Like what did you do?
Yeah.
And his mentality was, it doesn't matter what I did. Can I have my drops?
Yeah, like he was like, hey, you wanted answers. I brought you answers. That's a human, bro. What am I? She was like, we're at a memorial service. What am I supposed to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? Like,
but that perfectly segues into his other manipulation. He's like, oh, the body downstairs. Oh, bet. I know how to get to him.
Yeah, for sure. Oz had 10 out of 10 moments. He did.
This nigga stumbled in talking about some. I can't believe that. Got that man down in the what?
Yeah, they.
I don't know, bro. I don't see how you couldn't like this episode. They kept you on your toes in this episode, man.
I had no problem. So for me, it wasn't the presentation of the episode. I think they've pretty much got like the cinematography aspects down. They've done really well to we were talking about it off camera, but they've done really well to give side characters a focus that makes them feel really valid. Hell, if I'm gonna be brutally honest, I appreciate the landlord even kind of just like, even not just being kind of like a stand-in body, but being somebody that's like, yeah, my boy, like you should be focused on your mother. So in some way, fashion, or form.
Fact.
Say what?
I said, which is a fact. I'm telling everybody that's a fact. Love your mom.
He in some way, fashion, or form still adds to the plot, telling Victor to be careful, which also might be a little connection to something else, but telling Victor to be careful around the family because the landlord probably knows the family better than them, or better than him, excuse me. The landlord doing those little small things. I appreciate Eve being there, and to add on to what we were talking about earlier with her not being around for all the episodes, I also think that that extra bit of money when she was like, hey, this is a lot even for what we did, I think that's going to play back into the fact that he's gonna have you double down and triple down on some things that you otherwise.
Oh, yeah, you gotta hold us down.
Yeah, like you took
money, right? I said I got us.
you took this money. You signed up. But him saying that, or her saying that, and saying like, hey, this is a lot of money. Like, and he like, no, it's fine. Almost like, you deserve it. Like, I know what I'm about to put you through. So take this. You're gonna need this.
And what I was thinking is, what if he's put in a position where he has to get rid of her?
Yeah, I can see that as well.
Like, there's still so much possibility with this.
Nah, that's true. And again, I appreciate all that. I've kind of danced around this whole point, but to clarify it fully, for y'all to make all these times and take all these mini focuses and to tie them all together so well, for me to then, I kind of at the end of the episode, and that has a lot to do with why I feel like we didn't literally go from a 9 to a 5, but I feel like kind of fell off because it feels like Sofia is going to end up working under Oz, which is, go ahead.
Sofia is the type of character, in my opinion, that her brother is so important to her right now that she is willing to do whatever it takes to take on whatever it is that her brother would have had her take. Okay. And that was when you're in a emotional state, which they put her in an emotional state out the gate. episode 1, she's framed as a lunatic, number one, but she's a cold calculated lunatic. And so you take that and you put it in an emotional state, and now you're willing to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially in love and memory of the only person who made you feel like somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it would be different if she was just some lady, but the character writing to me works in such a way that the only thing that is allowing her to be manipulated is the fact that her brother's dead. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's okay. So I'll say that while I do agree with that, I think that for you to spend that much time and have her try to prioritize her family, her name, and all these things that are not just important to her, but are actually important to the mafia culture, right? For them to view Penguin as an underling, right? For her to understand that he's smarter than he lets on. I think it's okay at times to let that emotion blind you, but I also think that when we kind of set up that space of like, I'm gonna essentially go, we finna get rid of these old niggas. They not on it no more. They're not trying to keep the family in focus. I think that there is a way to balance out her strength as well as maintaining her trying to keep that family pride without having the emotional aspect of it be something that, like, it feels like that's her only focus at times, and then other times it has no bearing in her decisions. It feels like she's split, and she's probably supposed to be, but it feels like I'm watching two different characters, I guess. But like actively watching two different characters, not watching one person make a decision, not watching the same person make a bad or good decision based on their current emotional state. I hope that made sense. I don't think it made sense, but
no, I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree with it all, but I get what you're trying to say. I think to me she feels like one character to me, but I think I'm recognizing the turmoil a little bit more, for me at least. Because I'm thinking, right, like, I also wanted to get my revenge, and going back into the respect thing, like the respect for women thing. How many times she asked for that gun?
That's fair. Yeah.
Like legit, like, that's funny, but I was like,
yeah, that's valid.
Bro, give her the gun. Like, I'll
give her the gun. That's what I was waiting on too.
Partially the bias of me, because I was like, okay, Penguin's out off the hook. Give her the gun, right? Like,
yeah,
hurry up and give her the gun too, so he can't talk his way out.
Yeah,
but that was also Penguin used somebody that she trusted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I trusted this man more than anyone.
Yeah,
and he was the mole, and he's not the mole, but still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
And she couldn't even see it, and instead of whoever giving her the gun, bro shot him, and then she was like, bro, that was my kill.
Yeah,
I made the call. And so now you're even more distraught, because not only did somebody kill my brother, right, and I don't know who actually killed my brother.
Yeah,
I think it was these guys. And I got answers as to who set us up in this situation. All I need to know is what's going on. And you gonna take the shot? You, somebody that's close to me, you kill this guy, and then you take, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, freak this. I need a win right now. I don't know what else to freaking do. And I was just like, hey.
I can get you that win. Win.
You know what's funny? In the same way, well, not in the same way. It was, ours is more covert. Hers was overt. When she intimidated the cop, and not really intimidated, but gave him the drops that he needed.
Yeah.
To get him to do what she wanted in the first place. I feel like that's odd right now. He just been feeding her the little emotional lines, like telling that story about his mom. Yeah, that's feeding her emotional lines, so that now you've created the space to where he started off at the episode talking to her about stuff like that after after they robbed him. And you think. Side note, complete side note. When she said, "You think you know," I heard Edge. She sounded just like the beginning of the song. Like 100%. I said, "You think you know me?" She said, but yeah, I think you get the point that I'm trying to lay out here.
Nah, so I think that for me, it's not hard to do, but I feel like we betrayed one aspect of a character for a longer term payoff, which is fine. But I'm just not a fan of that right this moment, right? Because like you to add to what you're saying and piggyback off of it even more. Not only did they take the kill from her, they excused her out of the room and closed the door while she was still standing there. So we add to that space of, yeah, we just gonna keep underbody you, bro. You can go. We won't need you no more. And I think he even went
You're crazy. That's what it is.
He essentially, because he that's what he said. He said it over the course of a stanza, but he was, hey, maybe you should take that break. And on top of that, when he was done with you, you're dismissed. You can go. You're free. You're free to leave. There's the door. We have business to talk about, so you can go.
Yeah, she like, nah, I'm part of his family, so yeah, okay, cool. All right, okay. Cut me out. All right, I'm gonna cut you out. Like,
I think we take that space. And kind of add to that undermining, and then let her play that lower role, so that as she begins to kind of bloom, if you will, and become the flower that she will eventually become and take over the family, it has that higher level of payoff. But for me personally, I think there are other ways that you could have gone about that. That's for me is where I guess if we're falling, we're going from like what I say then like a 9, we're going to like 7.5 is not fair because it was still really good. Like I
think the episode was still solid.
Nah, but if I have to keep
I like this episode more.
That's fair. So. That's fair. I'm not falling from a 9 to like a 7.5, but I would go from like a 9 to an 8 because I think structurally there are better ways to convey that same point, especially with I would say us. With people like us that are actually paying attention to words, going back and rewatching the episode, not just once for the moment, but have to go back and watch the episode a second time, a third time. So now the things that I didn't notice before, I'm actually starting to pay attention to because I know what happens now. I think for like the person that watches it one time, you can say, okay, 10 out of 10, and it can stay at a 10 out of 10 if you enjoyed the first episode. I think it's harder the more times that I have to go back and rewatch it and then have to use that YouTube content kind of script writer mind where like, I think you could have did this a little differently. Not to say that it was bad, but to say that like structurally, I think if you change something or you have certain moments and then you not necessarily remove certain shots, but just like, I don't know. I'm not the writer, so I don't know how much they have to work with or don't have to work with, but I think I would have gone in a different direction. That's it. That's all I got. That's where I am.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I didn't think we didn't disagree as bad as you made it seem like we was about to.
No. I didn't think we were gonna shoot in completely different directions. Like it wasn't a bad episode. They still stuck to the core of what made the first episode good. And I have a higher appreciation for the fact that they took like little small nuances. And I like small things about characters. Like I like how when Sofia first walked in, it was extremely you could see that she's still not used to like big crowds and stuff like that because she dug in the joint with her hands.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, y'all watching? All right, like that's what I thought was happening.
But it felt like that. It felt like she realized she was being watched, and then was like, oh, okay. No, I got something for
y'all looking.
Yeah, and then just yeah, yeah, like
you're not being a lady right now.
And I think that goes. I think that plays into the same trope as well. Like that whole like. In that traditional family aspect, she's supposed to look, act, walk, talk a certain way, and she's pretty much going off script almost every single time. Like, those are things that I still appreciate. I still have a high level of appreciation for all the individual characters. So I didn't think we were gonna like split, go straight down the middle, just be completely different. But I knew the core of the points were going to be different. Also, y'all shouldn't have given two more things before I let him get his final little word to piece off. Hey, I know the show's already the show's already done, but for season 2, can we not have like characters get like 2 lines and then not do nothing? Because the brother, the brother in the little Arabic family, when they first went and sat down with Clancy Brown and the female head of the family and all. The son didn't say nothing. He just kind of gave a little side eye, and then when they sat Oz down, he was like, "You got our man killed." It's like, bro, you didn't say nothing before this. You okay? Let.
Bro, you got our man killed.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you got our man killed. Hey. It's like, okay, bro, like, you didn't say anything before. You didn't have to do that. Like, it just wasn't necessary. Also, the knife didn't look like a knife, but that's nitpicky. It
didn't look like a knife.
It looked plastic. It looked low key hard plastic. But
look, I was just enamored with the moment because I was not expecting him to stab that man.
I definitely thought he was going to get pieced up. I thought Oz was going to get.
He could, if that would have happened, and bro escaped.
Yeah.
That's a bad episode. Now it's really Penguin's got a problem. Like, I'd have been like, oh my gosh, what do we do now?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what's gonna happen? Bro, that nigga stabbed him.
And twisted it.
And then put the blade. I thought he was gonna put it on VD.
I definitely did too, but then I realized if he does that, he loses leverage. The pictures are still out there. Nobody used the pictures yet.
Yeah, so I thought about that, but I also watched the contact that he was making with everybody else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he made contact with VD, but the way he made contact with VD wasn't enough to put the knife. I was like, when would he have slid the knife in his pocket? And then when I seen him pulled away, he had his arm back like this.
Yeah,
and I was like, maybe, but I don't know yet. We don't know.
Okay.
That whole scene, I wasn't saying nothing. I was just like this.
He was just sitting on the edge of his seat.
I literally just, I'm gonna let it happen. I'm not gonna say. And when bro, it wasn't me. I said, God.
Yeah, for sure.
I liked him though. He dead now though. He done.
I ain't gonna lie. I love the switch up, and then stuff like that too. That's why the switch up was great from the beginning of the episode. We're good, right? No problems. Yeah, man, we're good. To that,
yeah.
Oh my god,
you
bro.
can tell, like, if you were him, your feelings are hurt because you know you didn't stab that man. You know you didn't. You know this.
Yeah.
You know this knife's not yours. But it's like, I can't prove it. I literally can't prove it.
Yeah.
I'm about to die right here, like right now. He had an anime main character moment, like his life flashed before his eyes, and he just was like, "Remember all of the good times."
Yeah, for sure. It was.
And she was like, "Give me your gun." Oh man.
Final words. Anything you want to say?
I can't wait for episode 3. Please don't kill Vic, even though I think he gonna die. But now that you didn't say it, I think he gonna die. But
that's crazy.
Please don't kill him. Let him make it out alive and take care of his family. It's Comics Corner. I'm enjoying myself covering this series. Come follow me on my channel where I cover some other series, anime related, and a couple of other things too. Any final thoughts?
Nah, man, that's all we got. I gotta do the YouTube stuff. Please subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you haven't. Go back and watch the first episode. It will be at the end of this video. It will definitely, you can click it. You don't even have to go nowhere. You don't gotta like navigate pages or nothing like that. It'll be there. His channel will, for the duration of this and probably even sometime after, whether he's on the channel or not. Be in the description down there. All his information. Is it Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube,
And Twitch.
Twitch? Okay, I feel like I was missing something.
Okay, you're tagging my YouTube naturally, so that'll be there. But then the links specifically are the 4 that we named.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. Go hit all those links. Don't stalk them. Follow them. You know.
Please don't.
This was it. Don't stalk. Follow you. No, we're not like it. Okay, whatever, man. Listen. All his information is down there. The last episode is gonna be at the end of this. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I've said all this already, but I'm gonna say it again. And yeah, that's it. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Especially because I don't know when you're seeing this, but I think there was another hurricane or whatever. But anyway, peace. Bye.
Y'all have a good one, man. We out of here.